Hello and welcome everyone. So I want to do a video here on detoxification. First I want to go over what detoxification basically means. And detoxification or detoxification is a physiological or medicinal removal of toxic substances. And this can be from a living organism, including the human body, which is mainly carried out by the liver. So this means that any human, which we all are, need to be able to have the liver to basically be the facilitator and the main channel to help with the detoxification. So if your liver is not working properly, you're going to need to get that corrected first. And as time goes on, the liver can regenerate if you're doing the right things. The liver is an amazing and resilient organ, even with sufficient scarring. And I can tell you this from personal experience, the liver can heal. You just gotta really keep moving forward with the right ways to do that. So let me go over some information on some of the things that will help really regenerate the liver and help people to move forward with this process, and also some of the foods that are going to help with this. So if you look at this basically kind of illustration here, you're going to see that there's oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, hydration, and dehalogenation. So, this is phase 1, okay? And then you're going to get into phase 2. But what nutrients are needed? You're going to need vitamins B2, 3, 6, 12, folic acid, glutathione, and flavonoids. And really, where are you going to get these type of vitamins from what food? Well, folic acid comes from citrus. So does glutathione, just an example, and so can flavonoids. And you're going to get some B vitamins from it too. You're not going to necessarily get the B12, but if you are, for example, consuming one of the electrolyte powders I've shown in my other videos, that will contain B12 and some iodine as well, the berry electrolyte powder. Here is the berry electrolyte supreme, which contains the B12, iodine, and many other different nutrients that you can add to water, freshly made juices, and other things of that particular nature that will really help with this process and really helping to work with the other antioxidants, flavonoids, polyphenols. So now let's go into phase 2. And in phase 2, you're going to need nutrients that are going to be a little bit more in a broader range. So the most important part about phase 2 is how is it eliminated? So it's showing the phase 1, it's going to phase 2, and it's going to be eliminated through the urine, the bile, and the stool. So if you drink your urine, this is not being gross. There's people that do this urine therapy. They don't realize you're unless you're in a survival mode and you're in the middle of nowhere and you need to do that for survival, obviously rehydration, there's no point to do that. That's not going to help you detox. There's a reason why this is part of the human body as far as getting rid of the waste. So you want to make sure that you don't drink that. Of course, the bile's going to be a part of it. But again, the stool, you definitely don't want to do that either. But at this point, these are the elimination parts, and this is very important to make sure that those continue to be eliminated. And the nutrients needed are also going to come from many different types of various fruits, vegetables, fresh herbs, things of that kind of part of nature. So this is why it's so important with diet, because if you're not getting these, especially enough magnesium, vitamin C comes from fruits and vegetables. It can come from grains, but you really want to avoid grains because those types of foods are going to basically have nutrient blockers, and you may not be able to absorb the vitamin C and iron, magnesium, things like that, even though iron's not on this. But you really want to stick with things that are digestible in the body, that can kind of work synergistically, and that's the fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Okay? So that's where you're going to really get pretty much the majority of this, and you're going to be able to move forward and go through these phases and eliminate the waste. There are also teas, hot teas is what I'm talking about, that will help in the particular process of detoxifying the liver. And one of them is Dandelion Detox Tea. And that's what I'm showing here. Dandelion Detox Tea is fantastic for the liver. There's pretty good tasting ones. I'm going to actually get back into drinking these, but I used to drink these all the time. Roasted dandelion root tea, and it's great for this. And there are other teas as well. Matcha tea is another example. This is above green tea. It's still something that is a great detoxifier. Anything that is a high grade, such as ceremonial and a handmade tea grown from a very, very high quality source, is going to be a great tool along with dandelion root tea. Matcha tea is something that is loaded with different types of antioxidants, and these particular antioxidants are going to be very potent and beneficial in fighting disease, especially free radicals. And all of these are going to help with the detoxification process. So these are going to be some great tools, and they're definitely going to help along with the other additional fresh fruits and herbs, especially fresh ones. If you can home grow those, would be the most ideal, or just very fresh if you can find them at the grocery store, and other types of vegetables. So don't rule these out, and just remember that matcha is a real powerful detoxifier, and it's capable of naturally removing heavy metals and chemical toxins from the body. And this is one of the reasons New Age has some of the best organic matcha powder that's 100% pure and is going to help you detoxify and move forward in the process of helping to get your liver up to speed and to move forward in the detoxification process along with the other tools. So what is a virus? A virus is a submicroscopic infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cells of an organism. Viruses infect all life forms, from animals and plants to microscopic organisms, including bacteria. So they not only affect humans, but they can affect pretty much anything else. So you might be wondering, why can a virus be detoxed out? And how come I'm not able to just kill it? Viruses are not living things. So they're not living, breathing like bacteria. They can affect bacteria, but they're not living and breathing like them, where you can just try to kill that particular pathogen, organism, anything of that nature. You know, a parasite is something that can obviously be killed too. And viruses are just complicated assemblies of molecules including proteins, nucleic acids, lipids, and carbohydrates. But on their own, they can do nothing until they enter a living cell. So they need a host in order to start reproducing and replicating. Think of a copy machine, copy after copy after copy. That is why they need a host in order to do that. Once they're able to get inside, they want to go to the nucleus, and that's how they can kind of take control over a cell. So basically, without cells, viruses would not be able to multiply. Therefore, viruses are not living things. So you can't just kill them. You have to be able to detox out a virus. As I mentioned before, if it gets control of the cell, you have trillions upon trillions of cells in the body. It starts copying and taking over more and more cells, and that's how people really have a lot of things happen to them with symptoms, and they get less energy because their cells have been taken over, and the virus is now doing its job replicating. So since they're not living, once again, they cannot be killed. They must be detoxed out.